Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to reseal an aquarium. And in my case, I'm resealing a 40-gallon aquarium that I've had my African and Buna cichlids in. But I just want to show you guys how I do it. Now, if you're in this aquarium hobby for any amount of time, you may run into, or will, run into an aquarium that eventually leaks. And unfortunately, that can actually cause a lot of damage to your home or wherever you're standing, wherever your aquarium's sitting. Now, it definitely applies to buying used aquariums. Now, the tank over here, that 55-gallon that has my goldfish in, I got it free when I was looking for, when I went to buy some glass that I was looking for to build an aquarium. And they happened to have it sitting up in the woods that came out of a house that fell down. And I figured, I was like, hey, they're like, if you want it, you can have it for free. And I was like, well, yeah, I'll definitely take that. I mean, 55-gallon aquarium for free, I'll take it. Now, it is a little scratched up, but it's still perfectly fine to see through. But when I took it home, I filled it up outside to check to see if it leaked, because it's been resealed before. The silicone was redone, and it done this. Now, that was actually what came out of the side panel, and that's why you want to check the aquarium before, when you get it. Even a new one, it's best to always test it somewhere to where if it leaks, the water won't damage anything. So you can set it in a tub or in a garage or outside. That's your best place to test your aquarium. Now, unfortunately, I had to refilm this part twice, so I actually missed out on part of the footage that I had for this. But what you're going to use is, if I can grab it, you need a razor blade. Now, this is something you can buy from Walmart, and it just has a nice little handle on it. It makes it easier to handle when you're in a tight corner. And you're basically going to use this to scrape off all of the excess silicone. Now, you only get the silicone that's in the corners. You don't want to take out the silicone that's in the bead, in between the two panes of glass, because then that actually can cause the stability of the aquarium to fail. You'll need it. You'll need isopropyl alcohol or acetone, whichever one that you have, and a rag, and you're going to use that to clean up your edges after you get all the silicone removed. And then you're going to need a silicone, which is 100% just pure silicone. You don't want any additives. You don't want mold inhibitors or anything, because that's actually harmful to fish, and you just want straight silicone. And this is the kind I used, and I got clear because I don't want to see it. And you can either do it in a tube with a caulk gun, or you can do it with the squeeze tube. However, it is easier on at least bigger aquariums to use the caulk gun, but on the smaller aquariums you can use a tube. Now, I picked up this tool today from Walmart, and it has this scraper on the end. Now, this is very useful. I tried it out today on the video, and it strips the silicone right off the corners of the aquarium without any issues. Now, it has a smoother on the end, which has some silicone on it because I tried it, and it would work, but in the video you will see I accidentally put too much silicone bead on the corners and ended up having a lot more silicone that was basically wasted and made a bigger mess. So you definitely want to make sure you use the appropriate amount of silicone for your application. Now, going back to the silicone, I ended up cutting my tip to where the hole was about that big, and that was too big. It needs to be more smaller, so cut it about 1/8 of an inch, about the size around that, and you'll be fine. But anyway, I'll go ahead and quit talking, quit standing in front of the camera, and we'll get to the actual aquarium. Now what you want to do is you want to take your razor blade, and what I like to do is I like to stick it in a corner of the seal, and I just run it along the bottom of the glass. I let the glass do the guiding, and I'll just run this clear across the bottom, just like I'm doing. Now usually I'm on the other side, so it's a little weird, but you just want to guide the razor blade down the sides, and then you want to do the top side. Now, the only silicone you're taking off is the silicone that you see in the seams. You're not removing the silicone that is between the panes, because if you do that, then you actually risk taking up the integrity of the aquarium. Now, once you break through both sides, if you get it all the way through, which I did not, works a lot better when I'm not on camera, but you want to cut down to the crack, and then you can start to peel up the old silicone. Sometimes you get it to come off in one big long piece, or it comes up in a whole bunch of little pieces. Now, I did buy a scraper like this. I'm not sure if that'll work. Oh yeah, look at that. This was something I bought at Walmart just today that I happened to see, and it was in their aisle for where the silicone stuff is, and it just has a metal scraper on the end that is designed to actually remove the caulk or silicone from the seams, and it's actually, you can almost just use it instead of a razor blade if you want to. Alright, after you get done with the initial getting all the silicone out, you want to go back through some alcohol. If I can possibly get this to focus. But anyway, this is a 50% isopropyl alcohol, and you're going to use it and some paper towels or any other cloth that you want to use. Now, what I like to do is spray it on the cloth, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm literally just going to wipe down the edges, the corners where the new silicone is going to go. And you want to make sure you get as much of the gunk off that you can. Now, the alcohol will have some strong smell, so you want to make sure you're in a room with ventilation. That way you're not just breathing in that stuff. And you can spend some time, you don't have to clean the entire pans, you just got to clean just where the where your silicone's going to sit. So up and down each and every corner, you want to clean it as good as you can, because the cleaner you make your seams, the better off your seal's going to be. And you're not going to have a leak, and you'll have a long-lasting seal. You don't have to worry about this for a while. They say the average life expectancy on a aquarium that is glass and silicone is about 10 years. Now, I got unlucky with this tank because it is only a couple years old. It has happened, I guess the seal is faulty. But they say you should get at least, at least 10 years out of them. Alright, after you let the cleaner that you're using dry, which is the benefit of using like alcohol, you then go to your silicone. Now, what you do is either which way you're doing it, it doesn't matter, but if you're using a tube or if you're using a caulk gun, is you want to put a bead along the side you want to try to do it all in like one motion, and then you want to do the corners, but you want to get a good bit of silicone in because you're going to spread it out. So it's okay to put it on rather thick as long as you got the silicone to use. And you just want to do every corner just like the aquarium was before. So I'm going to go ahead and finish siliconing this and I'll come back. Alright, after you get the silicone beaded down, you definitely want to make sure you do this in a well ventilated area because it is very strong and you can choke yourself out. But you only got about 5 minutes before it actually starts to harden, and it'll only really harden the outside layer. So you want to go back through with something, either your finger or a tool that you can smooth stuff with, and you just want to go along the edge of the aquarium and just thin it over. And you're basically doing this to ensure that the silicone is spread out. That's all you're doing. Is you want to make sure you got a nice, good coat on it. Now, after you're done with the silicone, you want to let it sit for about a day or two so it's actually fully cured and it'll be safe for your fish. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something. Look at mine, how I did mine, and you can improve on it. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe. There's always something to learn, always something to do. And I have 22 fish tanks in the fish room, so there's always something I can show you guys. Until then, stay safe, keep keeping fish, and I'll see you next time.